Starting the year off sad, man. Uh, Gangster Boo was found about an hour and a half ago. About an hour and a half ago, Gangster Boo was found in her home, passed away. Theories are coming out. You know, I was devastated, man. I couldn't even make a video, man. I was getting ready to put out a video. I couldn't even do it, man. It just hit me hard. Gangsta Boo, man. And it always happens when you, when you just thinking about somebody. You know, you just was talking to somebody. We was just talking about Gangsta Boo 2 days ago, because Keith Murray was doing an interview, and and I was like, yeah, he had that freestyle, and he was calling Prodigy Gangsta Boo. And we was talking about Gangsta Boo and her and being in 3-6 Mafia and everything that was going on with that. We was like, man, why they not putting out any songs anymore? So it really hurt. Yeah, because we was talking about the versus battles, how versus fell off. And it was like, man, versus battle fell off once they signed to the major deal. They was better off staying independent, doing it their way. Then it just turned into trash. Sometimes people they do deals with you just so they can get rid of you. See, a lot of people do that now. They don't do deals with you because they want to work with you. They do deals with you to get rid of you. They want to steal what you got. Well, according to about 4 p.m. Eastern time, she was found passed away in her home. And they didn't really release any information, but if you listen to Twitter and everything, they're kind of calling it an overdose. But they didn't suspect foul play. So that's why I always try to tell people, don't do drugs. Don't ever do it. Don't make it easier for them to try to take you out. Because that's all they want to do is make money on the process of your elimination. That's it. They want to make money on the process of your elimination. These people in the record industry do not care about you. You are not in their plans. When they sign you to this contract, it's not to help you and your family. They're signing it to make money off of you. That is it. On the Patreon, the Casino for Life Patreon, we got the killing of Michael Jackson. We got volume 1 and volume 2. And in those 2 volumes, you've heard things that you've never even heard reported on television or anywhere else. And then you got to shake your head. Why? How does this guy right here, Carcino, know all of these details and the major media don't? They do know. It's what they choose to tell you in that situation. Now, Memphis has all this talent of rappers. They had their own wave. They had their own music they were listening to, and people were making money. They had their own record company. They were entrepreneurs more than these other rappers. More than all these other rappers, they were the entrepreneurs. They had record companies, businesses. They owned gas stations, car washes. They didn't ever want to promote that to you, but that was the truth. They just never wanted to promote that to you. In Memphis, they were supported. A lot of them acts, those guys were coming out to the concerts. But if you look at Memphis, some of the most slain rappers in the game come from Memphis. This is going back through the 90s. And I said slain. Because yes, a lot of them did have illegal activities going on, but you know what they did with those illegal activities? They turned those into profitable businesses. Memphis has lost about 4 to 5 different rappers within the last year, period. Now, these days are different than the past, and with Gangster Boo situation, it's an entirely different situation, period. Like, hers is not related to all of that nonsense. But what happened is they weren't able to distribute their own records anymore. Because 3 6 Mafia got so popular. And they're getting Oscars on stage. And Gangster Boo was the second female artist that was in the group. And she was good enough to stand out on her own and make her own albums. But with money and greed, they're able to divide. Like I tell you, when people sign you, sometimes they sign you to put you on a shelf. They sign you just to get you out of the way. They have no intent of helping. Now, after that versus battle, let me tell you what was supposed to happen that a lot of people didn't know about. There was supposed to have been a tour that they were talking about with Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia. This tour was going to set up another distributional deal. Now get this. A lot of these people blame Gangster Boo for the whole versus thing. A lot of people blamed her for the incident that happened on stage. A lot of corporate people who put things together, who don't even listen to hip hop or music, and probably never been to Memphis a day in their life, investors, had money into that. They weren't very happy. I'm not trying to kick up a conspiracy theory. I'm just telling you what happened when it went down. That there was a major tour, just like the Locks and Dipset. Remember how the tour was supposed to come? And the investors got scared and they pulled their money out. Now, when the incident happened on stage, why did anybody blame Gangster Boo? Why? I never understood that. Why is anybody blaming Gangster Boo? That didn't make sense to me. A lot of things, a lot of conversations took place after that fact. People didn't get money. That guys you ain't seen in a long time were there. They weren't getting that money, no. That was a bag that was finna come. But a lot of things got in the way of progress of 3 6 Mafia and the other artists around there. Shouts out to Lorenzo Wright III, Memphis rapper. You know, I mean, Memphis beefs get very deadly. Very deadly. And this was in the 90s. We've seen an entire rap group murdered. And it didn't get mainstream media attention in Memphis. And this was like in the 90s. So, you know, it gets crazy down there in Memphis. Well, they're gonna not talk about these things. I don't know. They talking about ODing and all of these different things. That's what I'm saying. Don't do drugs, and you don't have to worry about stuff like fentanyl. Fentanyl's out here crazy. You playing Russian roulette if you attempt to do drugs, even smoking weed. Smoking weed is dangerous. There's people mixing that with fentanyl now. So you're not even safe smoking weed. People be like, oh, I vape. They mix that with fentanyl. One hit, gone. Do you want to play those type of games out here? It's not even worth it. Now they saying that Gangster Boo, the internet, that she OD'd. They did not release an official thing of death. She was found passed away today in her home at 4 p.m. And since then, this has been the reality, people. So I'm somebody who's just giving you the 411. That's it. If you want to call it anything else. The only problem I have, and what I don't understand that other people don't have, is when someone said this ain't nothing to do with Gangster Boo. This has a lot to do with Gangster Boo. Everything I'm talking about is related to Gangster Boo and to the world. These are teachable moments. If I try to get you to understand that, if I want you gone, man, how easy is it to get you something that could take you out? How easy is that? If I know you like to smoke a lot, how easy is it to find somebody to get you a pack that you like to smoke that might do some damage to you? Oh, you want to do hookah? Okay. How easy is it to go to a hookah lounge and put something in there that'll mess you up? Make some crack in the hookah thing, and now you're a crackhead. How many times I heard she was 42, but if she was 43, my apologies. See, unlike most of you troll babies, I grew up, we listened to Gangster Boo. We had Gangster Boo CDs. So we messed with 3-6 Mafia. We had Bone Thugs and Harmony. Most of you were just babies or not born at all. So you don't know any damn thing. So for you to call somebody clout chaser and all that, no, we actually supported the artist, the entertainer. You don't know what you're talking about. So if I'm going to use this moment to educate the majority of you guys about what's going on out in the world, then I'm going to do that. That's what I do. It ain't about clout off somebody's death. Anybody will tell you that's not what I do. I'm not finna make 45 Gangster Boo posts, but you'll go over there to your boy DJ Academics, who's gonna be doing a Twitch, a live stream, about 4 or 5 videos on it. All he do is market death. But you over there on their page 24/7. So excuse me if I don't side with you. Not dissing the youngsters, I'm dissing the ignorant. Because there's people that's young that got more sense than some of these idiots out here on the internet. So I'm just addressing the idiots right quick. Now, Gangster Boo and a lot of the other artists, when they were signed to the record labels, their contracts was voided. when they took the deal, 3-6 Mafia did what they did, and they split. They Gangster Pat and all that. The record companies kind of went belly up. All their contracts weren't renewed. They basically was defunct. And the main members of 3-6 Mafia only worried about themselves. They left everybody and hung them out to dry. See, when that major money came in, they started circling the wagons on who was going to get the big money. And then all of a sudden, there was a lot of shadiness going on with Hypnotic Minds and everything else. So this is why you didn't get the music, and it didn't continue on. And then the budgets was low. Your album release budgets, and then stuff getting pushed back. People ain't getting their money right. Crunchy Black saw it, A lot of people saw that. And it ruined something that they built on a foundation. Like you had a good foundation, a good core, a good team. And you're letting it go down to the wayside over nonsense. That's what hurts more than anything, is that it could have been something great. But people had substance abuse problems. They had drinking problems. And it ain't just them. Look at Bone Thugs and Harmony. Same thing. So what I'm saying is, you gotta watch yourself. You gotta watch how you're eating. Don't, just because they provide this for you, don't mean let's go get tore up, let's go get drunk, let's go get torn down to the point where we can't even move. And trying to just drink ourselves to death. Or party ourselves to death. Because that's all they're going to do is keep making money on the process of your elimination. Professional athletes, the same thing. They don't care about you. They're not signing you because they care. They're signing you to make money off you. That's it. And you're playing for that team because you want to provide for your family. So they're going to try to make money off the process of your elimination. And then you look at it, once you're not or can't provide for them anymore, and you don't bring any value to them anymore, they don't check on you to make sure you're okay. And no, they don't care about you. So what do they check on you for? And care less. You're not bringing in any more money to our team or whatever. They trade you, and when you're no longer playing, it's like you're a dinosaur. They get rid of you. Or unless your name has statue, then they'll bring you back into the stadium and show you off to the fans, let you wave around some stuff just so they could sell some tickets. Because that's the ultimate price. They don't treat you like family. That's the game. It goes that way. And most people are okay with it. And the reason that they're okay with it, because they understand this is the way it is. They say that to themselves, like, you know what? This is just the way it is. This is it. I'm done. This is just the way it is. So it don't make sense to go that route. Right? But we push our kids to want to play the sports and want to get in there and participate. Thank you, Demo. Appreciate the love, bro. But this is what we do. We push our children to do what we did and follow in our footsteps, because we be like, all right, he wants to go play in the league and I got connections and now he's going to be the next one. That's what the company wants. It's just like a warehouse. They want you to work at the warehouse. Give them 20 years, you're breaking your back. Now your back's starting to crack, you're getting old, you're not getting the products out like you used to. Oh, you hire your sons. Your son come to work. Bring him to work one day. Next thing you know, your son's working at the plant. He's got a job. You got two of your boys working at the plant. Right? And you old, retired, you get old, you got your benefits, you can give your whole life to this plant. You have no ownership, you have nothing to pass on to your sons or nothing. They just now have another job working at the same plant till they have their kids and they bring their kids to the plant. Meanwhile, the owners, their sons, they're gonna, when they get old and die, their sons are gonna inherit that business. And the little kid that you saw is now going to be your boss one day. And your kid's boss. And the cycle continues. And it's the same thing in the NBA. And the NFL and Major League Baseball. Every sport is the same thing. They want you to bring in your children. Bring in the next. Oh, your daddy was a successful star. Oh, look at LeBron. Come on, Bronny. We're going to play in the league together. Why not push Bronny and be like, Bronny, why don't you go and learn engineering? Bronny, why don't you go and be a lawyer? Bronny, why don't you go be a doctor? Bronny, why don't you want to go do these things? Why you would push your kids? You already have multi-millions of dollars. Because you want them to make their own millions of dollars quick. Market them into entertainment. You see, this is the reality. People, this is the reality. They want all of us to be on the Ferris wheel. And as long as we're on that Ferris wheel, we're not growing. No LLCs, no ownership, nothing that equates to you that you could leave for your children. If all you can leave them is some information, and they have to be in a worse situation than where we are today, then we're not moving forward as people. A lot of the stuff I'm saying is going to go over a lot of people's heads, and that's okay. But if you are not building something for yourself that you could leave behind for someone else, besides the name of your legacy, because that's most of basketball players, that's all they could leave, or professional athletes. All you can leave them is your fame. A professional athlete died. And he told his children before he died, I'm sorry. All I can leave you is my legacy of my name. Use it as much as you need to get what all you can get. That's what he told him before he left. He apologized for the moments he couldn't be there or was too selfish to not be there for them. He apologized. And the reason is because it was sudden that he fell sick. And then all of a sudden, the things that he really cared about mattered. And he's known as one of the greatest NFL players to ever play the game, one of the greatest NFL running backs of all time. Walter Payton. So all he had to leave them was his fame. Sad as that is, and sad as that sounds, all he had to leave them was his fame. But he apologized because he didn't feel he was a good father. Because he did his own thing. He partied, he went out with different women, went around his kids. Even when he had time to be around his kids, he was out just living it up. And then when he was sick and his children was around him, they still had love for him. And it shamed him. He felt shamed because he felt like, I've blown all these years growing with my children. And now, in my last 6-7 months of his life, was like the best time of his life. Is when he was sick, he got the bond with his children before he passed. But these are the things I reflect on when I see somebody die with an overdose that shouldn't have passed away at all. And we got to watch our vices, man. We got to start, it's serious out here. They're fine. They're trying to get rid of you quicker and quicker and quicker. And the reason why they're trying to do that is because the world is overpopulated. We're overpopulated by about 2 billion. There's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about on the Patreon that's going to go into blowing your minds. So you're going to be shocked and at awe and blown away about what we have to say. And you're supposed to be, because it's going to probably wake you guys up. Because you guys don't know that we're in a very uncharted territory right now. I won't alarm you, but we're in uncharted territory. And you'll be able to see it for yourself. Now, me, I've always been the person that came up in a different era where people have presented me with the right information. Like, not the stuff that's on the news where people would call it conspiracy theory. But now, due to the internet, we can get to real worldwide news quicker. And there's news outside of the United States of America. You see, you don't understand, your news is being governed to you. Even when you get news from the UK and everything else, and all of this news that you're getting is the news that they allow you to hear. But when you start getting news from other countries and you start seeing and listening to their news, even translated, you start to see there's a dramatic difference, even in the same incidents that happen that they're reporting on that's worldwide. So you start to see the information don't add up. So on the Patreon, I'm going to shock you on the very first video we put out. That's going to be later on today, and it's happening as we speak, and it is related to all of this things that we're seeing that's going on now. We're in uncharted territory, and I have everything to prove this isn't conspiracy theory. Okay, this is real. Well, no, BBC, you can't really trust BBC anymore. BBC is jaded. There's other news outside of BBC. But I got information, and I'll show you guys how to access it so that you'll be able to get it too. And you'll see the numbers, and then you'll understand what I'm telling you about. And you're going to see where we are right now. And when I use words like parts per million, and you're going to say, oh my God, why is this not on the news? Because they can't tell you on our news. They're not allowed to. And then you're going to start to really see the bigger picture. Like, the news is not telling us this? Why? We should know this right away, because what is it going to do? Cause panic. Panic's never good to help anybody. But we're in uncharted territory right now. But so, we're overpopulated. So how do you fix the problem? Well, it's too many people, too many mouths. Well, how do you fix that? Well, you have to start depopulating, right? It's a very harsh reality, harsh word, harsh life, right? Well, how are we going to rapidly do that? Well, we got to start by putting the first foot forward. Disease, famine, plague, things of that nature. Oh, we're going to get into all of it on the Patreon. Believe me. First video I do. Might be late tonight, around midnight or something. But after that, it's on. So you'll start to figure it all out later. But I gotta go. So absolutely. Be safe. Talk to you guys on Patreon.